Alright, hello everyone, my name is Dungeon and welcome to Stellaris. That's right, we are playing a pre-release build of the game here. The game won't be released until the 9th of May, but luckily you can already enjoy the game somewhat via this way. This pre-release version of the game was provided to me by Paradox, so thanks for that to them. Right, so yeah, Stellaris, a lot of hype around this game. I am hyped for this, I hope you are as well. Yeah, can't wait to jump in. I have been playing a bit just to get myself sort of acquainted with how the game works. Of course, I've been watching the developer Let's Play thingy as well. So yeah, I've tried to sort of get into the game and become hyped myself, and it did in fact work. So what we'll do is to create a custom empire in the first episode here, actually the 0th episode here, and then jump in the game in the next one. Right, so I've been thinking a lot about what kind of empire we should play as here, and I have come to a sort of conclusion that it's going to be best if we can first learn to play the game with a sort of jack-of-all-trades empire, if you will. And I will also want to focus on research, as I'm very curious to find all the tech that is available in the game, and use that to become a stronger empire, of course. Of course, though, our goal will be to ever expand our blob, as it were, and color the galaxy our color, whatever color that will be. So let's see, new game. There we go. I think this is one of my empires that I created, actually. Look at those dudes. Julot. That is a female, if you couldn't tell, apparently. Wouldn't know. These are some of the empires that are already in the game. Some sort of pre-built empires that you can just use to play with, among which the humans, of course, here. United Nations of Earth. Very interesting. I think it's a good first empire to start off with. I started playing with this, actually. It was a lot of fun. Then I created my own empire here, which is a plutocratic oligarchy, apparently. Individualist and fanatic materialist, right. Yeah, so I wasn't clicking through this. Some very interesting alien stuff going on. Very, very cool. Right. Create new. Let's do that. Create new empire. Select. Okay. First off, appearance. And as you can see, there's a lot of appearances that you can pick and choose. Probably you've already seen most of these in preview stuff, but if you haven't, then there you go. That's some of these stuff that you can choose from. It's amazing. I like it though. It's very cool that there's so much diversity as well. Because I guess it can become kind of boring if you keep running into the same species over and over again. Well, that won't happen here. I'm just quickly browsing through them here just to show you all of them. Some very interesting stuff going on. And not at all human-like in all cases. Ah! What? And that is a female as well, okay. It's interesting. Molluscoid. Fungoid. Very cool plant-like thingy. This is a very, very interesting as well. Sort of hovering and blowing out air. Right. Very cool. And the Blork, of course, the famous Blork. And this, I think this is going to be ours. I mean, this is just amazing, right? Let's do this one. We'll just pick a random name. Menjedi, Jibru. I guess we could go with the Denizen. Let's just do that. Denizen, plural, is still Denizen. Well, let's go with Denizens. I don't know. Adjective. Generate. Denizen, Denizian, Denizian, Denizian. There you go. But of course. Okay, so now we can pick our names here. Examples, leader names, anthropoid. Oh, look at those names. We aren't going to pick these because I can't pronounce them. Simple reason. Kulrik, Kulnun, Kulvox. No, that's too. No. Koldolf. Oh dear. Avian, Lagrak, Koralik, Kremak. It's interesting because these names sound avian, but how is that even possible? I mean, avian species having names? It's interesting. Bunak. Yurulek. No. Avian. Blackwing Extac. Wings of white. Cloudwing Extac. Plume of khaki. That's very interesting. Fungoid. I suppose we should pick one of these, right? Fungoids. That's just... No, that's too horrible. I won't be able to remember. Svetlana Zalazar. Human 1, Human 2. I think we'll go with the human names probably. This is just too... It's undoable, these names. Well, some of these, I don't know. No, let's go with the human ones, just to keep things simple. Let's go with Carl Roberts and Atarf Putopa. You Quackenbush. Are you kidding me? These names aren't simple. Well, we'll have to pick something. Okay, traits. This is going to be very interesting because here we can decide what our empire is going to be good at. There's trait points left and trait picks left. And we can also pick negative picks. So that leaves us with an extra point basically to spend here. And in total we can pick 4 things to make things come true. Right, so we've got a lot of stuff to choose from. Agrarian, thrifty, and you can see the bonuses here. Food 15%, very good. Energy credits, I like it. Minerals. I have found that minerals and energy credits, it's sort of doable to keep a positive balance. One of the main things that you start running into is actually the storage that you have. The maximum storage can sort of fill up quite quickly, and then there's just nothing. It's just not accumulating anymore. So you have to sort of keep up with that as well. Not just the income, but also the storage to keep all the energy and minerals stored. Energy is basically the monetary value that you use to pay for stuff, and minerals are used to actually build stuff. So you need them both, basically. Industrials, minerals plus 15. Whoops, didn't want to actually click it. Intelligence is going to be interesting, I think, because I talked about wanting to focus on research. So this is probably giving us that. But as you can see, we have no points left. So we might have to pick something to offset that. Habitability minus 10% is actually pretty bad. Slow breeders, growth time plus 15%. That gives us a slower rate of growing new population on a planet. Pops, I think they're called. Talented. Slow learners. Well, leader experience gain is pretty important. Army damage, I think minus 20%. If we just make sure that we aren't going to use our army. But I'm really not quite sure how important an army really is. If you have a strong fleet, for example, then why would you need an army? Probably to sort of board a planet by that is owned by another empire. I don't know, but that might be a good option to pick. Sedentary, migration time plus 50% resettlement cost. And that's interesting because I have no idea if migration is actually important. Resettlement cost plus 33%. I don't know. Well, we might have to do that if we find better worlds for ourselves, but actually that might also be a good thing to pick. Happiness minus 5% for solitary. That's not too bad either. Repugnant. Other species happiness minus 1%. The physical appearance and customs of the species are considered offensive. Well, that's a bit harsh. And few appreciate them as neighbors. People don't like us, basically. Species don't like us, I should say. Decadent, resource output without slaves. So that's basically telling us to go for slaves. Which is fine, if you were planning on that. But I don't think we are going to do that. Happiness minus 5. Perhaps we will go with repugnant. Minus 1% is actually fine-ish. So now that leaves us with 1 trait point left and 2 trait picks. So now we go back to the positive stuff again, and so we want to focus on research. Let's see, engineering output plus 15%. That probably gives us better ships and so on. Faster research in engineering at least. That might be interesting, although it is focusing a lot on one thing, and that really doesn't strike well with the idea of having a sort of jack of all trades empire. So I'm thinking no. Same goes for these, of course. Extremely adaptive. 5 points, jeez. Adaptive. Plus 10 habitability. Habitability. Growth time, no. Talented. Leader skill levels, no. Quick learners. Experience gain for leaders, no. Strong. Army damage plus 20%, no. Minerals plus 5 is nice, though. Nomadic migration time, no. Communal. Happiness plus 5, no. Conformist. Ethics divergence minus 20 is fine-ish, but not really helpful, I think. Resilient. Actually, I'm not sure what we should... yeah, charismatic. We can't pick charismatic because we are repugnant. Well, that's fine. I'm not really sure what we should pick in this case. These are too expensive. Or we should pick another negative one. Perhaps growth. Well, population growth is pretty important, but 15% is not too bad. So what if we were to pick that and then pick a level 2 thing? So food, for example. Well, that sort of offsets this, I think, because food is used to grow your population. So that's not really useful. That's not bringing anything to the table, basically. We've got 2 points left. Adaptive plus 10% habitability is very nice for new planets. Talented, quick learners. Conform as well. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Perhaps we should just leave this out and pick one of these. But which one? Natural engineers, natural physicists, or natural sociologists? Perhaps sociologists. Just because we probably aren't going to focus all that much on ships destroying other ships. Of course, we will do that at some point. But I think it's going to be nice if we can sort of settle planets that are vacant and expand our empire like that. And for that, we need sociology. So I'm guessing let's go with that. So now we've got intelligence, let's see, for the research. Repugnant, other species don't like us very much. Minus 1% happiness for them. And society output plus 15 for the society research. I think that's pretty nice. Let's pick the ruler. Koharu Yamaguchi. There we go. Color variant. Apparently we have color variants, and we will go with a blue one. Just because, is this, these are eyes? I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 6 eyes. That's very interesting. A sort of mushroom-like thing going on. With tentacles, of course. And sort of, I don't know, feather-like clothing stuff going on. I mean, what is... How's that even possible? We will go with a female ruler. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Well, it does matter. Apparently males have sort of greenish stuff coming out of their head. And females have bluish stuff. I like blue, let's go with blue. Next. Right, we will pick a homeworld here. Neboria. There you go. Star name Neboritar. Sounds pretty good. Starting solar system. I think we'll go... let's not go with Sol. That is, of course, the Earth's solar system. Let's just go with a random and see where we end up. Right, you can now sort of pick which planets we prefer. So, continental worlds, ocean worlds, Arctic, tundra, arid, desert, or tropical. I've been playing with tropical worlds in the last game that I played in preparation for these videos. I'm not sure. I found it very difficult to find tropical planets. Perhaps I was just unlucky. That could very well be true. But I want to try something else. I mean, a continental world would probably fit our character pretty well. Tundra not, and arid not either. Desert, no. Arctic, yeah. Ocean could be cool. Rocky world with a nitrogen oxygen atmosphere and a significant hydrosphere. Oceans cover more than 90% of the surface, with scattered islands making up the remaining percentage. Ocean preference, let's see. That gives us continental and Arctic plus 60% and ocean 80, of course. That is the baseline. I think everything has sort of the same. Yeah, so it's like tundra probably has a 60% for Arctic and arid. Is that true? Arctic and arid, yes. So the furthest away is only 20%, and there's some stuff that you can't really inhabit at all, apparently. Am I right? Yeah, so if you live on a tundra world, you can't live on a tropical world at all. Because that's just completely opposite, apparently. Okay, that makes sense. It's good to know. I think we'll go with ocean. Just because. Mammalian city, reptilian city, avian, anthropoid, fungoid. Let's just go with the fungoid city. Yeah, I like that style. Plus, we are fungoids, so there you go. Government and ethics, very important as well. We've got 3 ethic points left. Let's see. Militarists, xenophobe, individualist, materialist. That's pretty good probably, because we've got physics output, society output, and engineering output for our research. Pacifist, food plus 10%, maximum embassies plus 1. That's sort of the EU4 equivalent of improving relations. Putting an embassy in another empire. I'm not sure if that's very useful. Xenophobia, minus 10%. That is liking other empires, actually. Xenophobe, actually. Ooh! Look at that. Stuff changed. Oh, that's very nice. I had not noticed that before. Xenophobe is actually slave tolerance for alien slaves, plus 50%. So that's basically wanting to enslave all the other empires and not liking them. Spiritualist, happiness plus 5%. Pretty interesting. I hadn't noticed that these backgrounds change. Collectivists, slavery tolerance plus 50%. No. Food consumption, no. Okay, so I think we'll go with the materialist. And now the question is, do we want to go with fanatic materialist for a 10% boost in all the outputs? I think we will. Actually, I've clicked on all the things and now everything's broken. There we go. So now we've got 1 point left because these orange thingies cost us 2 points to pick. We must grow up and put aside our outdated notions of morality. There is no divine spark. Oh, pretty harsh language, but there you go. That's what you get for being fanatic materialist. Energy credits plus 10% for individualist. Slavery tolerance is lower. That one actually pretty good. Xenophobe, militarists, rivalry, influence gain, army damage, pop modifier, war happiness. No, I don't think we are going to be in a sort of constant state of war. So let's not go with this. Perhaps happiness plus 5%. That's just a flat boost. Sounds good. Slavery tolerance. No. Pacifists. No. That's too deciding, because I'm not sure if we want to go to war or not. We could go like a militarist style later on. I don't want to be stuck with pacifist then. So I'm guessing perhaps spiritualist. Although energy credits are nice. Ethics divergence is pretty bad. Penalty 5%. I think we'll go with the energy stuff. Energy credits plus 10%. Just because. So we've got individualist and fanatic materialist. Okay, sounds good. Now we get to pick our government type that is sort of based on these things. Well, not sort of, I think completely based. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that we can't pick anymore because we aren't going militarist, for example. Yes. So direct democracy we can pick. Holds an election every 5 years. Core sector planets plus 2. Core sector planets. What does that mean, though? Our core sector, I'm thinking, does that mean, because in the beginning of the game you can you can sort of rule 5 planets maximum. You can increase that. Perhaps this is this increase to 7 in that case, or if that's not it, I'm not sure here, so stick with me. If that's not it, then it's just 2 extra planets in your core star system. core sector planets. I don't know. Or it's later on, perhaps, when you sort of form a larger empire. I don't know. Science Directorate, Research Alternative +1. That's very interesting. Empire Leader Capacity +1. Indirect Democracy, Leader Recruitment Costs -10%. Pretty alright. Leader Skill Levels +1. Okay. Or a Plutocratic Oligarchy, Energy Credits +5 and Minerals +5. I think we will go with that. I had that in my previous game, and this seems to be very nice. Sort of flat-out boost to energy and minerals. Of course, we will need to keep an eye on the actual storage of those things, but still. Let's do that. Empire name. Denizen Interplanetary Commonwealth. Yes. Adjective. Denizenian. Denizian. Oh dear. Denizian? Did I write that like that? Denizians. I have no idea if this fits, but I will just go with it. Okay, we can create a logo. A flag, I mean. A logo. Blocky. Domination. No. Human. Ornate. Pretty cool. Paradox. We can use the Paradox logo. Well, I like Paradox, but using them as a logo for our empire? This seems a bit over the top. Pirate pointy. Round. Round. Let's go with the round. Like so. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And how about zoological? There's some nice stuff as well. Although we can't pick a mushroom. Can we? Well, I mean, that's just rude. I'm missing it. Perhaps I'm just missing it. I don't know. Let's go with round. And let's go primary color blue. Yes. And we will paint the skies blue. This one, I think. Secondary color is black now. And I think we'll leave it like that. Because these colors are not going to look well with blue. No, no, no. Okay. That's it. Where did my logo go, though? That's it. It's back again. Okay, next. Okay, so we've got starting weapons here. Projectile weapons, energy weapons, or missile weapons. I think we will go with energy. I don't know. They seem cool. Lasers, right? There you go. FTL method. Hyperspace wormhole travel is for advanced players, which we aren't, so let's not do that for now. Hyperspace, the hyperdrive allows ships to temporarily breach the dimension of hyperspace. Interstellar travels fast, but limited to existing paths along the hyperlane network. Right. Warp drive generates a subspace bubble around the ship, making faster light speeds attainable. This allows for free but relatively slow travel between stars, given the great distances involved. But I still think we will go with this because it's very variable and flexible. You can just go wherever you like without having to stick to hyperlanes, for example. But it is a bit slower, that's true. But it's still, I think, the best option for us. Just a jack of all trades option again. Okay, the type of ships that we want to pick here. Fungoid might actually be nice. I like the avian ones as well, but it doesn't really suit, I think, with our mushroom dude. Or dudette. Molluscoid. Well, let's just go with fungoid. There we go. That's it then. Is it? Then is an interplanetary... I can't even pronounce this empire name that we picked. Denizen Interplanetary... Interplanetary, there you go, Commonwealth. Denizen Interplanetary Commonwealth. Okay, makes sense now. Right, we'll save this. Saved successfully. And now we are done. And now we can actually pick the game details. We will go with, I guess, a medium star system. I did run some tests here. You might have noticed we aren't running on 60 FPS, and that's because the game runs... It's really hard to run. I mean, it's not the graphic fidelity, it's just the sheer amount of CPU that your computer needs to get everything in the background going and get all those AI computer opponents doing their stuff. So that's, you notice that in the game as well. If you play at the fastest speed, then it's just the game starts sort of lagging a bit, and I don't know. I think there's a Paradox said there's still a lot of optimization to do. So perhaps things will get better, but for now we can only jump. We would be better off just playing at 30 FPS, and it looks great. So don't worry. Yeah. So galaxy size, let's leave it at 600 and not go larger than that. But you can go to 1,000 stars. It's amazing. Galaxy shape, elliptical, spiral 2 arms, spiral 4 arms, or a ring. I think we will go with elliptical. Sounds fine. AI Empire 17. That's quite a lot. I'm thinking about lowering this because that might actually lead to a smoother gameplay experience, but I guess it's fine. I guess it's just a matter of time before smaller empires fall away to the larger ones. Advanced AI starts. This controls how many of the regular AI empires will start with an initial advantage in resources, technology, and population. They do not gain any additional bonuses besides a stronger starting position. This setting does not affect fallen empires. So basically there's 4 empires in the game that have already progressed a lot longer than our starting empire. Because we jump in the game when we have just found out about FTL, I think. About fast and light travel. So yeah, that's that. And I think it's in the year 2200, if I'm right. We'll see when we jump in. Difficulty, we'll leave it at normal. You can go to hard, insane. So normal is basically the lowest level here. Allowed FTL method, you can sort of restrict whether we want to go with others. We'll just leave it at any. I'm allowing the other empires to go with any method they like. Iron Man mode will be off, and that's it. Right, so we'll jump in here, and yeah, so I'll wrap up this episode here, the 0th episode, as a sort of introduction to the series. I hope you will enjoy this series with me. I'm sure you will. So let's jump in. See you on the other side. Bye-bye.